Welcome to Syntax. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Front End Happy Hour podcast.
Welcome to this week's JS party.
Live from Shipshape Studios, this is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot, with your hosts, Robbie the Wagner and me, Charles William Carpenter III.
That's right, Charles. We drink whiskey and talk about web development. I mean, it's all in the name. It's not that deep.
This is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot. Do not adjust your set. Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot is brought to you by...
As more and more code is generated, developers end up spending more time reading and reviewing code. This creates an issue on reliably shipping quality code. So even though AI is promising, a lack of proper guardrails can slow down teams. CodeRabbit is an AI code reviewer. Unlike AI code generators like Cursor, Windsurf, or GitHub Copilot, it reasons and submits feedback on your codebase while you raise a pull request to merge code into your VCS. CodeRabbit is a self-improving agent, and it learns from your interactions and creates learnings. CodeRabbit generates one-click commit suggestions for some review comments, making it easy for developers to address review comments. CodeRabbit is used by 100,000 open-source projects like Vue, Next.js, and it's installed on 2 million repositories so far. It's also performed more than 15 million PR reviews.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot on Margarita Thursday. First Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot of the year for 2026. Excited to be here. Have some whiskey. How's it going, Adam?
Oh, dude, I'm so good. I'm also fighting just the doom and gloom of AI looming over top of our heads like a Pac-Man just eating all our shit and giving us nothing in return. It's like, give me some coin, please. And it's like, no, I'm just going to take.
Yeah.
It's been brutal.
Yep. We will jump more into that, but let's have some whiskey first. All right, so this is the Old Forester 1897. It is bottled in bond, which means it is 100 proof, and I think they grow all of the stuff there. I don't 100% know what that means. Chuck would know. The mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. It is 100 proof because it is bottled in bond, so of course it's 100 proof, and it is at least 4 years old. I don't know if you were, I guess, yeah, you can see it on your screen too, but here for everyone, it looks like this. It's green. They also have like a teal one and a bunch of different colors on the thing. I forget if it's 1920 or 1910 that they have. That's like our previous favorite, but they have a bunch of them that are different years, and they're supposed to be, I guess, modeled after that year, like how whiskey was popularly made then or something.
That's cool. I love the little, it's so many moments. It's like every year they're probably just like, let's do one tweak because it's going to take us 5 years to taste it. So let's try to only do one little change. Imagine your build times for 5 years, everybody. That's whiskey. You got an 18-year build time on this bottle.
Yeah, that's why everybody just sources whiskey. They're like, I don't have the time to age this. MGP, give me some whiskey. Let's do it. We'll sell it right now.
Ooh, yummy. Spicy. A little bit of
smell apple and pear. A little bit of cinnamon.
Color's more on the yellow side than the red side.
Ooh, it tastes
good burn.
Much different than it smells.
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not gonna go much off this because I'm not loving the smell, but I do like the taste at the moment. So
I feel like I'm getting like currant jelly on the flavors.
A currant jelly, nice.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm trying to figure it out. There's a dancing pepper, dancing spice on there, which is good. Ooh, the trailing cinnamon, and then as it trails, you get some of the sweetness coming in from that bourbon influence. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's a little bit, I don't know if it's like too much wood or what, but a little bit of harshness like on the finish, which has happened a few times, and I don't know what causes that, but it's
Is it
familiar.
the young age, maybe?
Could be. Might not be old enough.
I think the young age is why I don't like the smell, but it tastes good.
I only like old smells.
Well, it's good. I'll be 40 in a couple months. You'll love it. Start smelling 40 too.
I thought you were already 40. Thought you had said you were
close to
40
it.
at some point. I guess you were just
probably
rounding
rounded
up.
Yeah, my wife got really mad. She's like, you can't round up to 40. And I'm like, you can. She's like, no, you need to be at least there. Oh, so it's greater than or equal to. I can't round up unless I'm, all right, whatever. You can only call seal. Yeah.
My wife and I are mentally like 75, so it's fine.
Ooh, what was your Spotify age you got? Did you check that out?
Oh, no, I didn't do my personal Wrapped, actually. I did the one for the show to like see our listener growth and what was most popular and stuff, but I think I looked at mine for a second and like literally all I had listened to, like every single like of my top songs was just Mayday Parade. And I was like, well, that's not very interesting to look at. So I didn't even bother.
I do a good job separating. I think we've talked about it on here, but I have like a decoy account for all the kids crap they want to listen to. And anytime someone asks for something on the Google Home, it's not my account. It's the burner. It's a burner after our dog's name. Anyway, mine though, I open it up and my friends and my spouse are all getting like 30 and 20. And mine says 87. Your listening age is 87. And I was like,
a lot of Frank Sinatra.
There's definitely, yeah, like pretty much on the weekends, I wake up and I do crooners in the morning. I really like,
nice.
And then I listen to a lot of banjo, old timey banjo stuff. So they're like, yeah, you're probably from the 40s. I'm like, geez.
Yeah. You know who I like that's, I guess, relevant to that category, but new is Teddy Swims. He's my jam right now.
Nice.
He looks like Post Malone before he lost weight.
Yes, he does. Nice.
Yeah, and he's really good. Like, I had never heard of him, and he was on like the VMAs on like a side stage, which is usually for like shitty, stupid artists. I was like, wow, this guy is awesome. And like, he's actually really popular. There's a couple like top 10 hits that you've probably heard.
Cool. Dang, I'll go check it out. I was spinning some records this week too. It's just I felt like listening to albums. The whole, start to finish albums were so good. I need to revisit that. And then just even getting up out of, oh, what's up, pup?
Guest appearance. He is just freaking out on the floor, like, do something with me.
I get that one. My pup visits me all the time. She's like, so you done working yet? I'm like, nah. She's like, but I got the toy ready. Don't you want to play? And I'm like, I will. I'm good for it. Just give me some time.
All right, so let's regress just a second to our rating system. 0 to 8 tentacles. Yeah. 0's the worst. 8's the best. 4.5's middle of the road. What do you think?
5.5, 6. Something in there.
Yeah.
It's drinkable. It hits. It's in the category. I'm happy. I'm not disappointed. High proof. I'm going to drink this and more. And so it's not throwaway. It's good. It's just, I'm not going to ride home. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've had any Old Forester that I would throw away. This one, I think I've had 3 or 4 before, and this one is maybe the worst one, but it's still good. So I'm going to give it a 5. 5 seems appropriate. All right. So speaking of throwing things away, is AI just stealing with extra steps?
Interesting. Stealing with extra. What's the extra step? The extra step is you have to prompt it. But
it
already
instead
stole.
of instead of being like, hey, you know what? I painted the Mona Lisa. This is my work. Like, instead of just flat out taking it and saying that it's mine, you go, create me something that is 99% the same, using all of it as your reference, but it's a new work, so it's mine now. Still pretty much stealing, feels like.
Still stealing. The worst one I saw was Grok, which because it doesn't have as many limits on what it'll do, right? It's horny, it's rude, and it rips shit off extra fast. And so, they're like, take this piece of work, just take the watermark off. And it's like, boom, the watermark's gone. You're like, yeah. All right, now just change the hat. It's like, the hat's different. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to sell that. You're just like, no, that's messed up, dude. Don't do that, please. Like,
I hadn't really thought that far into it because, like, with coding, it's a little bit more obfuscated. It's like, I'm building this thing and I don't understand how to build certain parts of it, and I want to get like advice and like iterate on it, and it feels like it's coding it from some sort of expertise, not just like stealing code, but it is really just stealing code. Like, I always forget that it's not thinking at all. It's just like there was I don't know exactly what happened because I guess haven't seen this somehow online, but I guess like within the past few days, like Adam Wathan laid off a bunch of people at Tailwind, and like all of that was like attributed to AI stealing all of their work. Basically, like they can't, I guess, sell as many templates and stuff when it just like AI can just build them. You don't need to buy them because like it just looks at it and goes, that looks like this. Here's an Indigo 500 everything, and you've got it for free. So that's pretty fucked up. I don't love that.
That's part of, like, when we opened up and I was like, doom and gloom, it's basically inspired by that. I've seen AI steal open source work. It steals closed source work. It's like, because it doesn't really care. Even if the code's obfuscated, it'll figure it out. It'll make new patterns and match them and regurgitate them without you asking. So it's gone to CSS tricks and read every article and stolen it and regurgitates it as if it's its own. It's gone to every open source repo stolen that. It's gone to anywhere it can find code. It's just a greedy little butthole, and it'll go steal all that stuff. Then it replaced junior jobs. So we saw layoffs attributed to, we don't need juniors, we have AI. And now we have open source laying off very talented, high quality engineers because they can't afford them, because AI is just generating it's generating the things that made them money. So the free side of their thing that led people and funneled them into the payment scenario is now toast. And basically, if Tailwind can't do it, no one can do it. And so I was thinking about that all day today. I was like, dude, open source is dead. Open source was almost even kind of dead already. It was like, why are we doing this anymore? No one gets paid from it. It's not helping you get a job. All of its benefits have kind of dwindled away, other than the goodness of our hearts. Which I'm actually a very positive person. I'm pro that. But dude, we're in a scenario now where I'm just like, I don't know where the rainbow is going anymore. And so I made a joke about OSS, open source software, is now we should just start making CSS, closed source software. That's what I'm...
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I thought that joke was all right. It takes a certain audience to think that's funny, but yeah, man.
Oh, I love it.
CSS. It's about to be really popular.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh, man. So yeah, the only benefits to open source as of now, I still make all of my stuff open because, one, I don't really care. And like, two, you get all the free stuff. So like GitHub lets you run more GitHub actions and stuff. And like CodeRabbit, you can run infinitely for free on all open source stuff. So like,
that is cool. Yeah.
It has been actually really good.
Right? How are they going to do that?
They're pledging that it's going to be free forever, and that it does cost them a lot of money. I imagine whenever the like VC money dries up and it's like, you have to actually make money now, then they might turn it off. But for now, I'm really enjoying it because I'm like, hey, AI on my machine, build this thing. And then I'm like, cool, I don't want to look at any of the code. I'm going to ship it up to GitHub. And then it's like, ooh, this stuff sucks and it's going to break in this way. And then I'm like, I go back to my local and I'm like, hey, did you know this sucks and it's going to break in this way? And it's like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. Like, let me go fix it. So it's actually been catching stuff that like, I don't know if the local stuff's not being thorough enough when it's building it, or like what the disconnect is.
It doesn't know what it's doing, Robbie. That's the problem. It's AI doesn't know why or what it's doing.
Whatever they have, whatever secret sauce CodeRabbit has seems to be better at like actually deciphering what the code should be doing. So it's like better at knowing when you messed up little things that like, general AI doesn't know. So that's like been really awesome so far.
Learnings, right? Yeah, we've been studying what CodeRabbit does, and they have learning. So hopefully they learned on stuff that they should. Maybe that's why it's free. So maybe the free part is like you're the product. So you put it on your open source, and now they're like, sweet, you let us in. You let the vampire in, and now we're going to bite your shit. We're going to suck up everything we can out of it, and then make our tool
Joke's
better.
On you. I got it all from AI in the first place.
Yeah. Slot machine, flywheel, go.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much in this category to talk about. It's just out of control. Anyway, continue your thought. I feel like you still had one going on.
Oh, I don't know. My thoughts frequently just end. But yeah, Prime had like retweeted something about the whole Tailwind thing. It was basically like, I think, and I kind of agree with this take, but I don't know what your thoughts are, that like, basically for all of these CEOs who just like threw caution to the wayside and like, we're like, we need to, we're racing to be the best AI product. We need everything to, work immediately. We don't care how much stuff we steal. We don't care who we put out of work, whatever. That all of those people should be held criminally liable for like anything that was in fact theft. Like you might have to do a little bit of, investigation into how you could prove that it was like actually, grand larceny or whatever. But like, it is, in my opinion.
It is. And it's easy to see. And I suppose we're in a lawyer scenario where it's hard to prove. And that's just a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's like it's money. Money did this, and it made people want to make fast cash. And so they stepped on carcasses. They stole from people without asking. And, they're going to make a claim like, you put it on the internet. As soon as it's on the internet, that shit is just a web page. And a web page, you can't control that, which is honestly something that was kind of cool about the internet for a while, was that it was a very anti-corporate place to be because no one controlled it. And it was open and free, and that was its value. And then this tool showed up and stole from it at a massive rate. Like it was fine when spiders were crawling it to help us find the content on it, but it sucks when something is crawling it to soak it up and steal it and sell it back to us. That sucks. So yeah, I think it is on the higher up folks that there should have been some accountability. There still needs to be accountability. There is none. There's only growth. And we're probably even going to see a scenario soon where like an AI company had an AI CEO and the AI CEO chose to continue stealing, and you're like, well, then who do we blame at this point? Because CEOs that are AI don't make money. And yeah, you're going to have to try to sue the corporation. It's just, dude, it's a humongous, nasty mess. And the people benefiting from it are not us. Our jobs are about to go. Tons of jobs about to go. The work that I'm even doing now is insanely different than it was 6 months ago, different from 2 years ago, and wildly different from 5 and 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's no stopping it. It's just this huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about, the whole will all the jobs go away or not. Like, I think if you're a big corporation and you continue to make money somehow, like your corporation is not cut down by AI, then other than greed and like, hey, I need, instead of like $50 million, I need $150 million personally. As long as you don't have too much of that, I don't see why you wouldn't just continue to pay developers. Like, you wouldn't hire more probably, but just keep paying the people that you are. Make sure they're using AI to its fullest to like ship stuff really quick and like whatever. Because I think you still need, like, there's a lot of stuff that, yes, it can kind of build, like, code basically anything I ask it to these days. However, I know things that could be better because I know what's better. So, like, I think, like I was doing stuff with Ember Data today, and I'm like, I know that this thing isn't going to work with it the way you did it. So, like, having that human that knows to check you and be like, now maybe that could be CodeRabbit or, like, some other, AI reviewer, and maybe there is no human. But I think, like, as long as the developer salaries are not hindering your like making money, then why wouldn't you just keep them? Like, keep the status quo. Like, you don't need to lay everyone off just cause. But maybe that's wishful thinking.
Your margins. Yeah, I mean, it's a corporation. Yeah. This is always their claim. It's like they're just gonna do whatever it takes to make more, because more is better, at least to corporation, right? It's like, if you can, you should. Have you seen Gastown?
I have not.
Gastown. So it's the person who created beads. Do you know what beads is? Cool. Let's
like
go
the
through.
Things you put on a little bracelet.
Yeah, or
sometimes you make curtains out of them.
Yeah, curtains too. That's great. I was told there is so beads is a way for you to pass data between agents, but there is an anal beads repo, which they took ANAL and they made it something like analysis something. Anyway, so you can use anal beads.
Because of course.
Okay.
They
anyway,
did. Yeah.
Because of course they did. Because it's the internet. And that's maybe AI wouldn't do something stupid like that. That's a human.
Yeah.
So let's say everyone, you've used Claude. Or you've used OpenCode, which I've been using OpenCode in the past couple of weeks. You've got an agent. You did some shit with it. But now you have two agents. You spun up a new tab, and now you have two, and they're both doing shit. You're like, oh, yeah, now we're going. And then you spin up 5. And you have 5 tabs. And now you're like, okay, well, these 5 tabs are starting to stomp on top of each other. I got to use work trees. And you're like, yeah, okay. Now you've got work trees, and your multiple agents are working. And so now you're back merging their work from work trees into a branch that's a feature branch, and you're feeling really good about it. However, your orchestration's getting tough, and you're having trouble managing Ralph. So even though Ralph is in there managing a loop for you, things are still getting out of control. You need to pass data from one agent to the next, because in order to do a big task, yeah, dude, go ahead and interrupt me. It's fine.
No, I forgot about the Ralph thing. What's the last name of Ralph? I forget.
Ralph Wiggins.
Ralph something. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so hot right now. Ralph is so hot, dude.
I know. I watched like 5 minutes of Matt Pocock explaining that it's just a for loop and that it's now just a for loop, because stuff is better now. You can like, it's viable. Whereas like before it wasn't viable because AI would just like choke and die. Like you couldn't just let it for loop. But now that it's better, it's like viable, which makes sense.
I don't know. It's not really that it's better. It's more like you've formalized. Okay, so yeah, let's talk more about Ralph versus Gastown, because these are like, they're both trying to solve the same things. People want to do bigger, better shit with AI. And so that's kind of what I'm working to. It's like, you've got 5 agents now. Now you have 10 agents, and you need to pass data between these because agents lose their memory. The memory needs compressed. So how do you pass memory from one agent to the next? And there's all sorts of different strategies. Dude, people are writing emails. People have an agent write an email in quotes, but it's basically the same thing, to the next agent. Here's what I did. Here's what needs to be done. Here's some history. Go do that shit.
That's what I do. If I know I'm going to run out of tokens or context or whatever it may be soon, I'm like, hey, just wrap up what you're doing and like tell me what to tell the next time, like, so that we can start from here.
And that's like Markdown too. People are writing to Markdown files, right? So you've got like a plan. The plan goes through some to-dos. Maybe you evolve it and it writes it back to the Markdown. And I've even been trying a skill-based version of this. So like I invoke an agent with a skill. It goes and does this task. It learns a bunch of stuff from performing the task, bakes it back into the skill. So the next agent I spin up to do the same task somewhere else in the code base, like a migration or whatever, it's bigger, smarter, faster than the one prior. So it's like you have this issue, like once you run into a bunch of agents, you need to pass data. Okay, so we'll fast forward to Gastown. And Gastown is from the person who made Beads. Beads, by the way, everybody, is a Git-based way of sharing data amongst your agents. So you're not going to litter your repo with Markdown. You're also not dealing with a SQLite database or a vector database or emails or whatever it is, or skills. Beads is a Git-based way to persist data across multi-agent sessions. So then you have Gastown.
Is this related to, sorry, I know nothing about this, but you might, like Jujitsu or JJ or whatever, that's, I think, also for doing like kind of Git-based something. Like basically, so you could like every time you run something in AI, it's like stashing what the last thing did, so you're not clobbering yourself or something, and then like you can ultimately, I think, commit the whole thing just like Git or whatever, but like something like that. I don't know if they're related at all or different.
What you're talking about is that there's multiple people trying to solve this same problem. And I even want to talk about a certain point too, where like both things that we're doing in the AI world that are becoming popular just get baked right into AI super fast. Again, stealing. Hey, everybody's uniting on this really nice pattern. Steal it. Okay. Like Ralph Wiggins is now baked into Claude, basically, is a good example. Like people were hand rolling a Python script. That's what Matt Pocock did. He showed hand rolled Python that was looking for a certain promise that got returned by the agent. If it didn't, then it just ran that shit again in the loop. Now it's official in Claude. Claude's just like, oh yeah, great idea, we stole it. So then that's going to happen with Beads and all these other tools, especially like the Kanban thing, which we'll probably get into. We're seeing businesses wanting to be the swarm manager. And then, okay, so let's get to Gastown. Gastown is the person who made Beads, which is currently the most popular and tried and true way for sharing data amongst your agents on long running and difficult tasks, like overnight type tasks. In Gastown, okay, you're talking about like people. Hey, I want to keep people around. Gastown is people. Gastown is it's essentially like 7 people, 7 roles, which also, have you tried OpenCode? Oh My OpenCode, have you seen that?
I have not, no.
God, let's talk about that one too. It's kind of like a mini Gastown built right into OpenCode if you install these plugins. It's kind of cool. Okay, so imagine Gastown is the scenario where it's like, look, you want to get something really big done, or you want to delegate a whole bunch of work to a whole bunch of agents. You're the only human that's involved in this whole thing. And there's 7 different roles that can have one or many of them. And it's kind of like if you think basically, like maybe you have a plan and an orchestrator, and the orchestrator spins up agents. It's like that in a small Gastown scenario. So you've got roles that do specific things that can help you fan them out in parallel, verify work, verify tests, just do the whole 9. Like some people are out there basically trying to recreate entire companies, entire agencies, entire huge businesses, and taking every single person's role and turning it into a recreatable and overnight scenario with agents. And it burns through your cache like crazy, but it creates results. Here's the thing that I'm always laughing at. Okay, I just want to like sidestep real quick. I've tried a lot of these things. I see a lot of the things that people make with these. And while it is cool, it reminds me of computers for computer's sake. You know, people that code just to code the computer, they're like, look what I made the computer do. And you're like, that's pretty cool. You made the computer do that. What did it make though? And you're like, it's kind of turd over here. You're like, all right, well, that's a really elaborate turd. You know, and I'm looking at people's output from like Gastown and Ralph Wiggins the same way. I'm like, wow, you ran Ralph all night for like $150 and you got a turd. You know, like, it's fine. It's like, it's mildly better than my one-shot turd. So congratulations to your whole huge setup. But I don't know. Everyone is very like, so we're creating these things because we want the future. Well, some people want this future where maybe models are better. And maybe we'll talk about that too. It's like models, have they peaked? When are they going to peak? That's really impactful for how we predict what's happening next. But Gastown, a lot of these methods are trying to, like Ralph Wiggins is trying to take a sort of mildly capable model and make it better by running it through the same thing over and over again. I just talked a whole bunch, but basically, like, I want to chat about Ralph Wiggins, Gastown, AI harnesses. If you don't know what AI harnesses are yet, let's talk about those. And just like how people are trying to take this machine, this model, which is just a word vomit machine. It's a pattern matching, high prediction engine and tweaking it into producing the things that we want out of code. Like, how does Bolt work? Bolt works because it's got an AI harness on it. It's probably going to evolve into a Gastown scenario here. And then at the end of all this, all these businesses, all these good ideas that people are putting in here, and then they just turn around and get fucking stolen by these big companies that are already stealing everything, and they're going to steal it and sell it back to you, or they're going to sell it to the other people that don't know how to use it. And so, dude, we're just in this machine right now. It's a machine of machines, and I don't know where we're going, but dude, we're going there fast. I feel like it's spinning faster every week. God, it's overwhelming. And then to have people losing their jobs at Tailwind, it's just, whoa.
It's an interesting situation where, like, on the one hand, I mean, you can't stop it, I guess. So, like, I'm kind of okay with the, like, quick iteration and it being stolen and then whatever, because that means I don't ever have to, like, super configure my stuff. Like, Warp and Open Code do a great job of me telling them nothing and being like, I want to build this. Maybe I let you look at my code and, like you can build a warp.md or whatever, like, very minimal hand holding. And then I'm like, default settings, go build me this. And it's like, that stuff is just going to get better and better as, like, all of these, like, you know, it's almost like algorithms. Like, you know, everybody, like, was like, oh, what's the best algorithm for all the things? Like, what's the best sorting algorithm? How do we do that the fastest? I think whoever builds the one that basically needs the least hand holding is going to be the winner. Like, I can just tell it in plain English, this is what I want, and it will figure out all the nuances of what I meant and, like, build it the best way. Because there's been a lot of, you know, stuff happening quickly. Like, every day there's a new way to do all this and tell it give it the most context and, like, make sure you have
less
the best
context. Have you seen that now? It's like, oh, you gave it too much and that's why it failed. You're like, get out of here.
Well, I don't think I've had the problem of too much context yet.
Oh, that's totally a thing too. It's annoying.
Until I used Open Code, I was, like, super bearish on all of it, because if you go into, like, ChatGPT or, like, Claude Chat or whatever, and you're like, build me something, it's like, like, unless you're asking it explicitly, like, I need a function that does this, it's going to be like, it'll give you something. But, like, Open Code or, like, agentic workflows in general, I guess, are, like, just so much better than, like, a chat bot or, like, the initial way that AI was interacted with. So I think maybe this isn't even close to the end. Like, we'll just keep iterating on how we use this, but, like, I don't think the models themselves are going to get all that much better. I do think we've kind of capped out at, like, where they are. Like, it's going to be diminishing returns, or even if it did get a lot better, I feel like you're going to have to just spend, like, 100x the power and cooling for it to where it's, like, not feasible to use. Like, we're going to burn the planet up before we get to, like, a better model, in my opinion.
Yep, I think that's pretty sound. And that's a good segue into, like, what is an AI harness. And so it's like, if you look at how Bolt and Lovable and Same.dev and a lot of these different websites work, is they take your whack-ass prompt, your vague, weird sentence that you wrote, and the AI harness is all the layers and guards and enhancements that are specific and proprietary to their interpretation of what you said. And this is why Lovable's results look the way they do. So it's the same way Bolts look the way they do. Or if you use Claude directly, the way that it looks based on their AI harnesses that are kind of built into Claude. And what these are, it's like it's like a Bolt, for example, takes your prompt, gives it to an orchestrator, asks the orchestrator, enhance the prompt. So then it does an enhancement pass. The enhancement pass says, okay, now optimize this for a multi-agent scenario. So divvy out the work and articulate back end, front end, all the different tasks. Then it gives the tasks to the agents, at which point those come back and it does a critical review of them with a different agent, right? So the harness here is the ecosystem and the cycle, the machine that they put your prompt through that turns it into something bigger and better than was originally input.
Yeah, so it's their secret sauce that makes it work
It's a
better.
secret sauce, totally. And so, like, what you're pointing out is, like, if the models are towards the best that they're going to be, because they are just word prediction machines, they're not smart, they suck at math, stuff like that, the harnesses are the value. And that's why Claude is probably so badass right now. It's like it's got a model that's specifically trained for coding, very highly specialized for coding. Plus, they've got a lot of data on how to make the most badass harnesses. So they got badass harnesses, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure Warp is somewhere in the same position and open code is trying to get there. Yeah. I'm glad I have someone to talk to about this stuff because no one else in my near vicinity knows anything of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, Robbie. It's fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's exciting and scary. I'm enjoying using a lot of the things personally, but yeah, I can see all of us having no jobs at some point. So I don't know what happens then. I hope someone has a plan for that other than just there being 1,000 rich people and everyone else is unemployed.
I think about it like here's a romantic potential, which is that, did you ever have an old car?
Yes, I did.
Okay, did you ever take it to a mechanic because it broke? All right, so like that's going to be us, bro. Not the car, but the mechanic. We're going to be there and be like, oh, you have a car from the 2010s, or you have a website from the 2010s. I was a mechanic during that time. Yep, I know exactly how all those work. You have a problem with it, just bring it over. I'll put it in my garage. I'll fix it up for you, and I'll give it back. And bro, that's how we get old, man. Like,
This just in, whiskey.fund is now open for all your merch needs.
That's right, Robbie. We're hearing reports of hats, sweaters, and t-shirts, as well as a link to join our Discord server.
What's a Discord server?
Just read the prompter, man.
Hit subscribe, leave us a review on your favorite podcast app, and tell your friends about our broadcast.
It really does help us reach more people and keeps the show growing.
All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
I guess the one thing that would be my advice to anyone is don't learn all of the things that everyone knows. Tailwind is probably a bad thing to be an expert at because like that's what AI is going to give you. Like if you learn the things that AI doesn't have a ton of examples on, like Ember is a pretty good example because like nobody uses Ember. And if there is stuff about Ember out there, it's like Stack Overflow stuff from like 6 or 7 years ago. So it's like not relevant to current Ember. But like the more you know about like emerging technologies, like before there's a lot of documentation about it, or like get into the canary versions, get into the niche things that like people aren't using. Learn CSS. CSS is also still hard for like not closed source software, but cascading style sheets. I think that is the future of like just trying to quickly learn a niche to like, even if you're going to then go turn around and train a small AI model on it to be like, oh, my agency is good at this like one thing because I know it and I trained AI on it, and like the big models will get it in a few months, but like right now, pay us a ton of money. Like that could be a good business model.
I agree. That niche is ahead of the slop or the mainstream output that is coming from AI. So yeah, you're gonna have emerging groups of people or companies that are like, the reason our shit is badass is because we do exactly what AI can't or what it won't, because it's just so edgy. The edges might become way more better because the mainstream is getting thicker. It's getting fatter every year. Mainstream music gets bigger and thicker every year, and it pushes out indie and smaller things every year. Same thing with web design and applications. We're seeing the mainstream just get thicker. And so, yeah, if you want to position yourself, you kind of need to position yourself as the factory of these things. So, hey, we stamp out houses all day. I'll make you 100 homes in 3 days with my template and my specialized agents. Or I'll make you a unique, super badass house you can't get anywhere else, and it costs a hell of a lot of money because this is a human hand done, maybe mostly hand done. Like, oh, here's funny. Did you play Expedition 33?
I did not.
Have you heard of this game?
I have not.
Oh my goodness, bro. This game won way more awards than Destiny 2.
Well, who didn't?
Well, that's a good point. Okay, Expedition 33 was I loved it. It was a really great game. However, after it won a bunch of awards, it turned out they used AI for a lot of their prototype textures. And some of the prototype textures made it into the final game, at least in like early versions of the final game. And the gaming industry stripped them of their awards.
Oh, wow.
For using AI. And I was like, that's really interesting. Is that going to happen to our industry too? Like, it's like your app used AI. Are you going to get stripped of something?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, there is, it's kind of like the illegal versus immoral debate of like, I think for the longest time, I was trying to hold out and be like, hey, if you're using AI every day to like just build stuff and you don't know anything about what you're doing, you're stupid. Don't do that. But now I'm kind of like, you know what? We don't actually need to know how most of this works.
Yeah.
It does not help me to know how it works. I can like double check the code to make sure it didn't do something stupid like nest 10 for loops or like, you know, you got to know like basics, but you don't really have to know that much about like most things. I don't know. I feel dirty that I like that now, but like, yeah, I feel like the path of the senior is like gone. Like the path of the junior is already gone, but now it's just like,
yes, you're singing the song, dude. This is why I was all doom and gloom when we joined. Over Christmas break, I needed a banjo tuner on my iPhone, and I went to the App Store and I looked for tuners, and there were plenty, and they all looked like ass, and they were all for guitar and not for banjo. And I went to the Anything app, which, hey, Anything app, if you want to sponsor us, write me an email. The Anything app allows you to create a new app from this app. So it's Bolt for your iPhone. Okay, so I opened it up.
You've talked about this. I didn't know what it was called, but yeah.
It's called Anything. Dude, I got a banjo app out of it in about 10 minutes while my kids were getting ready for bed. And it looked really nice. And it was all the tunings that I tuned my banjo to. And the frequencies. My favorite part was it going through, I'm writing the code for this. And I'm just kind of like glazing over, looking at what it's writing. And it has an array of all the frequencies for the tunings. And I'm like, that shit is cool. That would have taken me so long just to source the data for the frequency of a G string in a...
But do you get any kind of satisfaction though? Like, I feel like I'd get a little more satisfaction if it were at least like web technologies, like you're using web audio API to like do something with the frequency. Because I did this I had an EmberConf talk that was talking to your dog with Ember, and it would take dog barks, and like based on the pitch of the dog bark, it would say, are they happy or angry? Yes, I feel like you could do something similar with like, just make a tuner like that, like based on the pitch or whatever. So that would be more fun to me because I could then at least understand the code afterwards, like read through it and stuff. But I don't get any joy out of like, other than the little bit of like gambler's satisfaction of like winning when like the prompt goes right and the code does what I wanted it to do. That like small dopamine hit, but not like any real satisfaction.
The
like when you
dopamine
really
hit
build
was
something.
not from... The dopamine hit was because I gave a big middle finger to the Apple App Store. That's where I got my joy, bro. And the follow-up joy was V1 of this app was not tailored enough to what I want. Before AI, you'd go to a website and be like, it has a dark and light mode toggle for me. I get to pick. My preferences matter. Wow. You could go choose, like that was the amount of customization we had. Now I'm in a scenario where I'm like, who cares what's in the App Store? I make my own apps, and when those apps spin up, I ask for dark mode, and it just does it. It doesn't even have a switch. It'll just create the dark mode for me on the fly. In fact, I want more tunings. I don't have to log an issue. I don't have to write an email. I don't have to contact support. This is my software. If anything, I had a drop in my stomach because I realized that we've always known native apps perform better than the web, but it was inaccessible. It was inaccessible to create that many native apps that were of that high quality. And basically now we're not there anymore. I felt a deep sink in my stomach because it felt like the web will die because native apps have always been mildly superior, and now it's accessible to anyone to make one. And I was like, holy shit, I hate that, but I also love that for myself in a way. Like, great, everything I've ever dreamed for is now possible. Same thing for my mom. But now what am I going to do? My career has been, you need a dark mode toggle? Ooh, that's going to be a week of work. Yeah, let me just go ahead and work on that. So
dark
I don't know,
mode
man.
is difficult to hand roll because you've got to think about every little color, unless you're doing like, and I mean, I'm going to sound stupid with this, but I think there's like a CSS property to say like, I want this to be like display text or whatever. So it's either white or black based on what you've chosen. You know what I'm talking about?
Function. Yeah, me and you pitched that to the CSS working group 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you can use that, but like if you're wanting it to be custom in any way of like, I want to like bespoke when it's dark, I want it to look the way I want, not just like inverting colors. Then it is a ton of work to figure out like all of those colors. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could probably be like, "Yo, AI, I don't want to just invert them. I want you to draw upon other dark mode websites. I want you to give me like 5 options. I'll tell you which one looks cool." Yeah, you could be done in minutes. And that's pretty scary.
That's pretty scary. There's a, let's see, I used to call it lift and shift. I wrote a blog post about this. I'll find it and put it in the show notes. Maybe I try to look at my website really quick. But it was a scenario where like you used to be able to go to a website and like you could view source, right? So you would view source. Now you can tell AI to steal source. You go to any website that you like the color scheme, and you're like, steal source. And then you switch tabs and you paste source. Like and AI has made it even easier. So what was the title of this? Was like, is it even easier with less prompts to steal stuff?
Is it just stealing with extra steps?
It's stealing with less steps. And that's kind of why I think what bugs so many people is like, you can steal art with less steps. You can steal
it's less steps
code
for
with less
you,
steps.
I think. There's more steps behind the scenes than just copying and pasting, I think is the more. But yeah, it's very easy for you to steal.
There's a Chrome extension. You can go install it right now, and you can go to a website for beautiful UI examples. You find the beautiful UI example that you like, you open up in a new tab, and then you steal everything. And you go back and you're like, take this entire beautiful aesthetic and apply it to my garbage idea. And dude, it's really good. It's stupid.
Does
it's
it work
stupid that like
on,
that's easy.
On like non-standard things, like I can't think of what the company was, but they had like they turned their website into like a video game animation style like cheetah that like ran around and like did stuff. Like it wasn't just like boxes. Like, is it good enough to steal something like that and be like, oh, instead of a cheetah, I want it to be like an ape? Like, can it do? Are we there yet? Because if we're at that, then we're done. Like, there's nothing else we need to do.
That's a good question. I don't know if it can do that, but it can augment during copy, and it can go as deep as like WebGL effects and stuff like that. So you can be like, this site has whatever going on. I don't even know. Like, that's kind of the point that we're talking about here is like, you don't have to know the implementation details. You just say, my eyes like that. Copy it, AI, and it just copies it. And you're like, and that just stole years of someone's work.
Okay, so somewhat related. I'm going to take us a little different course.
Please, let's get off. This is so doomy.
Native apps, like a Mac app, let's say. What do you think about animations? Because like desktop apps kind of historically have just all been like, there's a thing you should be able to click on. The cursor does not change. Like, it's not like a website where
are we doing cursor
like,
mouse hand or not?
Should you have different cursors? Should it animate? Should it show you in some way that it's clickable, or should it? I feel like the default of like 90% of things is it does nothing. You just like click everything to see if it's clickable in like a desktop app. And like, while I guess that's a standard for some reason, is that the best for users, or like, is it a no to like add in nice, delightful animations to that stuff, or make like a little hand, or like make it more fun web-like, I guess? Like, I'm asking because like in Swatch, I feel like it's very drab. Like, I want it to be better at like delighting people as they move around, but I also don't want people to be like, oh, that's just a website that you threw into like it is a website, but like, so I tried before to make it all very default click, nothing does anything, like you can't select text anywhere because it's an Electron app, like the same as you would in a normal app, like, the stuff that I feel like is kind of dumb that it's a standard. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that in general?
I love this topic, Robbie. This is a design discussion, and I've seen this trend. I recap this as, is the Mickey Mouse hand valuable to users? Does it inform people that when you hover over a thing and it turns into this shape, which everyone can see, I'm like, I got the thumb out and the index pointer up, which also that icon changed in the macOS release recently, and it drove a bunch of people nuts because the thumb is now perpendicular instead of like angular, and everyone's like, why'd you do that?
I didn't notice.
Upset. Oh God, it's so funny, dude, the conversations. Okay, so up until last year, and I'm just going to admit right now I'm a trend follower. Up until last year, I put cursor pointer on everything that the mouse could touch that did some shit, because I was like, look, it's obvious. You're just making it a no-brainer that when their mouse goes over a thing and it turns into the Mickey Mouse hand, then voila, they know the click will do something. You don't have to make the background change. You don't have to put a border color change. You don't have to transition or do anything more than cursor pointer and get your result. However, it is now trendy, and I think some of the trends, so there's trend and there's the web platform. If you do nothing on your site, Robbie, what things on your page already turn to a cursor pointer and what things don't?
I would want to say that anchor tags and buttons do, but I feel like I probably add that into one or the other of them. It's probably only one of them. It's probably a trick question. I'm going to say
It is
just
a trick question.
anchor
So
tags.
which one? Yeah.
Just
Yes.
anchor tags do it.
Anchors. So 25, 30 years ago or whatever, the design system choice for the web was Mickey Mouse cursor for links. That's it. That's it.
Well, the problem is people started going, okay, well, this is going to actually open a new page or route or whatever in your spa, but it's a button because it's doing an action, and it takes you, and then it's like, oh, well, but it's taking you to another page, so it's actually an anchor tag. And then people probably weren't changing it from the Mickey Mouse hand, so they're like, people started seeing that and be like, oh, it is good to say that like this is clickable. Maybe we should just add cursor pointer to all these also whenever we have any button. I don't know. I don't know if there's a right answer, if it's just personal preference.
There is no right answer. There is the answer the web tried to instigate. There's the reality that users assumed. It's just like a blue link. Like that was a design system decision. And then there's the reality of like where we are today and what users want when they hover around. And so Tailwind's an influential library in this concept of Mickey Mouse or not, because they opt to not in their templates and their presets and stuff like that.
Cool. They reset everything. They have their own reset. So I guess they remove.
Yeah, and they're gonna leave buttons and arrows. So it's like basically you only Mickey Mouse a link, and you cursor auto everything else.
Okay, so then with that in mind,
I don't love that though.
If we assume that's the default that we want, if you have a native app that's like an Electron app or whatever, would you still Mickey Mouse hand links in it? Like if you're like, here's
do nothing. Yeah, no Mickey Mouse hands. I don't know.
On a native app. Yeah, so that it's not. I wish that we could just agree that it's the same on the web and in native apps, and like pick a standard, and like then also allow more fun stuff in native apps. Like I don't feel like there's and I haven't developed one in like Swift or whatever, but I feel like there's not like a framer motion in Swift that's like, you know what, I want all this stuff to be delightful and do all these crazy animations. I feel like they don't have that. Maybe they do.
They do, and it's
just no one uses it.
So it's like well, maybe yes. No one has the time to polish with a physics animation library, but there are high quality, high frame rate ways for you to bring delight into a native app, but not with Electron or whatever. That's still going to be web, right? But yeah, if you're in Swift land, there's pods, there's Cocoa pods, and there's even a built-in Swift animation library. Here's a fun thing. I made a physics library in CSS 6 years ago. It's called PhysX, Fizzx, and I've been recently hacking on it with AI because AI doesn't know what the fuck I want, but that does know physics because it knows how to regurgitate the next thing in a physics equation. I'm no math pro. I prototyped the original version with no AI, but here I am using AI to like take me to the next level. It'd probably crap out amazing Swift or even Objective-C native physics engines like renderings. It just doesn't care. It's like, look, it's math, man, and math has been consumed and regurgitated across more than just the web. That's a funny, powerful thing about AI, though, is that it doesn't know why or what. It does know the patterns, and the patterns of physics are known. These are just established and known, and
that's true.
Been trained on them.
Yeah. All right. So all I'm hearing is I can add as many animations as I want to Swatch, and I shouldn't worry about it.
You should. You should do that. Let's talk about Vibe Kanban as a final capstone on AI and get the hell off of this topic.
Yes.
Because I know it's consuming all of our lives and it's overwhelming. Did you see the post from the guy? There's not a godfather of AI, but there's like dude, I suck at names. Anyway, there's someone on Twitter who's like very known for like being early in on all of this AI stuff. And he wrote a post over Christmas break that was like, I'm overwhelmed with AI. There's so much happening. I can't keep up. And everyone's like, well, if you can't keep up, how the hell am I going to do it? Anyway, we're like at that scenario now. So Vibe Kanban. So like everyone, we're all in the same boat. We all can't keep up. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Me, I can't keep up. I'm trying to. Robbie, he can't. Chuck is way behind. Actually, he's probably actually doing okay. I just want to make fun of Chuck because he's not here. He showed me Open Code's Oh My Open Code, and that shit is actually pretty cool, which we haven't talked about much. But anyway, okay, so Vibe Kanban. Here's real quick. Do you say Kanban or Kanban?
Kanban.
Damn it. It does sound cooler. It's like salsa.
Yeah, it sounds smoother.
Smoother. Okay, so Vibe Kanban is one of many. Okay, so again, you're gonna see someone steal this idea and make a business out of it really soon. Here's a prediction I have for 2026.
Is it us?
Oh, maybe. 2026 prediction is GitHub's projects become automatically Vibe Kanban with Copilot. So anything you've done in there is about to just auto move into complete. Hells yeah, right? Yeah. Okay, so Vibe Kanban, you spin this up, opens up in a new tab, and instead of writing a new prompt, you create a new task. And the new task targets a branch, targets a few basics, and then you give it a prompt. It's like, hey, I want to add. Okay, here's the thing I did. I went into my personal website issues, and I found 4 issues that have been in there for 2 years. One of them was I want to show page views. I want to show page visitors, active people on my site. There were 4 things I just hadn't gotten to. And I created each of these as a to-do in Vibe Kanban. And Vibe Kanban takes your issue, creates a work tree, spins up Claude, feeds it your repo and the task, and auto manages it working across until it hits complete. So it moves your tasks into being worked on, and you can see it. And there's audio. So you got this tab, and all of a sudden, like, AI is just doing shit. And you're like, holy shit, I have like employees. I have like agents in your CLI is like one thing, but like when you see issues moving across your swim lanes and across columns inside of a Kanban, you're like, this is really compelling. I found it compelling, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't. And so, 2 of my 4 issues were just completed. They were done by open code. So this was an open code Vibe Kanban scenario. I just gave it shit. 2 of them completed, 2 of them didn't, and then you can go retry them. Isn't that funny? You could retry and add context. You'd be like, oh, I see how you failed. Let me retry you with some more information to help you complete it. And that's what Vibe Kanban, and there's multiple of them right now. There's a Claude one, there's non-Claude ones, there's some of them are beautiful, and you can tell people vibe coded them, but who cares? You're like, I don't love the CLI. I mean, I do, but at the same time, like, I really love watching a task move across a task board and then playing a sound when it's complete. Like, that's satisfying as hell. Like, Warp is the best I've had until then. I'd ask something from Warp. Warp does the thing. It makes a little cute little chime, says it's done. I go check whether it's done or not. I give it some more instruction, or it's done and it's all good. But Vibe Kanban has been one of the most, so over my break, over the past month, this has been the most delightful tool I've used. And I found that there's multiple variants of this across multiple different implementations. And so someone's going to turn this into a business, but dude, it's really cool. I'm now a project manager. This is what I mean. My role is changing. I'm no longer coding on my personal website. I'm a project manager. I've got a backlog, and I just send my backlog to a bunch of turd nuggets that are just lackeys in a Gastown, and then they do the work. And this is our future. And that's 2026 right now.
I don't Dude, like it. I like that I can build things that I couldn't have built myself, like above my abilities. But I don't like that it's taking the work that I thought was fun, because I'm never going to have fun again.
It is not fun for me to sit down on my couch and manage a Kanban board 100%. I much preferred like dirty hands, satisfying details. A good example is if you make a car, I want to sweat the details. I want to sit in the driver's seat and I want to hold the steering wheel and I'm going to rub my hands around the edges of it. And I'm going to be like, nope, the leather is wrong. You know, like this is my role as a CSS developer. I like sit in there and just like, that's not satisfying enough. I know what texture would be more and I go assign a new texture. But dude, with like Vibe Kanban, I'm just like, make a steering wheel and make it drivable. And it's like, the car is drivable. And I'm like, this is way less satisfying. I made 5 cars, and last year I only made 1 car that was half as good, but I felt better about last year's car and this year's car. Yeah, man, it's weird.
To be continued. I don't want to. I have more things I could say, but let's stop talking about this.
God, sorry. Yeah, we're at an hour, and we had like a huge
are.
task list of stuff we wanted to talk about, but
Yeah, we can briefly touch on a couple other things, maybe real quick. Yeah, let's just.
Tell me about your Christmas. I had Christmas stitches. Maybe we'll make that quick, but yeah, tell me about your Christmas. What's up?
Yeah, so we also, I think, I don't know if the story was similar. I don't know if the one you were saying that was similar was another time or the same time, but yeah, my son fell and hit his ear on the coffee table and like almost sliced the ear in half. And had to go get that glued like December 22nd or 3rd or something.
No way, dude. That's
like
amazing.
Around the same day that you were like, you had something similar. Like what happened with yours?
Okay, so yeah, it was not the Christmas Eve. It was the night before. So it's literally the 22nd. And yeah, my kid at 10 o'clock at night is brushing his teeth and he sneezes, whatever that means. Take this into... Anyway, he hits his head on the counter in the bathroom and just rips a 1.5 inch gash in his head, and it just starts gushing blood everywhere. Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, that looked like it hurt. And then, it was like I pivoted from, hey, that looked like it hurt, to, oh my God, this is bleeding everywhere. And then we have to rush downtown. Oh, dude, it's wild. Yep.
Yeah, Caitlin.
That's so funny. You had a similar thing. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Caitlin had to take Finn to like urgent care for that, and then they were basically like, hey, it's late. Just go to the hospital. So they went to the hospital and got it fixed up. But yeah, it was,
we went to ER. There was a guy with one leg. He peed his pants while we were watching. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, that's what happens in the ER downtown big city.
So yeah, all the things happen in the ER.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
I can't believe
So we
you
had
a
that,
similar
but
experience. That's wild.
yeah. Other than that, we're super busy. We like traveled down to my parents for their Christmas party, and then came back, and then hosted for Christmas. Caitlin's mom came in, and then we did a bunch of activities. Like there's this big ice thing where they like bring in this team of people from China that are like ice sculpture people, and they do this like whole thing. Like they did Polar Express this year, so there was like a full size, like life size train engine out of ice kind of thing. Like,
Whoa.
And you walk through all the scenes from Polar Express. They had like the hot chocolate stuff and like all this different stuff. So that was cool.
People are cool.
Yeah, and
Can't
then,
use AI to do that, huh? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's, gotta find, there's some niche thing. Well, I mean, you say that. You're dragging us back in.
I'm so sorry, dude. I didn't mean to. Everyone, I'm so sorry. I said it. I didn't mean to.
But I can't let it go. Have you seen the company that they do like marble statues with like a robot, and it uses AI to like, so they're basically saying they're going to make it way cheaper.
Oh shit, no.
Because like you can't have a marble facade on a building because it's expensive, because there's like artisans have to do it all. No, they don't. You put it in like a 3D printer for marble, and like they're saying they're going to bring back stone on like, all buildings. There'll be no reason not to use it anymore, because you can just have it everywhere, which is kind of cool, but also puts a ton of people out of work.
Wow.
Anyway.
Geez, Christmas. This is last year my kids are going to believe in Santa, probably. That was fun. They wouldn't go to bed. I don't know. So if you're a parent out there and your kid didn't go to bed before Christmas, that's a stressful time for a child. They're like, is Santa going to give me coal or presents? And you're like, you better go to sleep. That's a good way to make sure you don't get coal.
Yeah. Luckily we haven't had any trouble with that thus far, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be, can't remember ever like being like, you know what, I'm going to stay up and check like and see if anyone showed up, because I feel like I was always forced to go to bed at some point. But
yeah, I never stayed up. I think I tried one time, but I was a kid. You just can't. Your body's like shut down, initiated, and you're like,
Yep. Yeah, I remember my cousin and I always used to try to stay up all night, just on random nights. We'd be like, oh yeah, it's like 3 a.m. We're gonna make it, and then we'd be like, you don't remember anything after that. You're just out. Like
it's like the kids at school that are like, I stayed up all night and then and I came to school today, and I'm like, no, you didn't. Staying up all night, it sucks, and you'd look like it. So yeah.
Yeah. The only time I like stayed up all night and did something, I went to like a lock-in at like a church and like stayed up all night for that. And then my dad had me and like, I don't know, a couple other kids doing like building something on a dock at the lake. So like I was using like a hammer, right? And I had also had a bunch of allergies, so I'd like taken a bunch of Benadryl and stuff. And I'm like hammering stuff in and like falling asleep while I'm doing it. Like this is not good.
Child labor force. That's what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah. He was paying us. It's fine.
Man, did you watch Stranger Things? I don't want to make this episode longer, but like,
No, we might start it tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we've had way too much going on and way too many people staying here, and we haven't had the chance yet. But
R.I.P. your pup.
Yeah.
Let's just share everybody his pup. I had a final day.
No longer. Yeah. Yeah, it was a rough few days, but we're good now. But yeah, the other dog, I think, was like stooping to his energy level because now he is way hyper all the time. And I'm like,
licking your microphone. Yeah.
Yeah. And before they would just kind of sleep all day. So I thought they both wanted to sleep all day. But like, I think he was just like, oh, this is what we do. And he's like, wait, we don't have to do that anymore.
Nice. It's like when your spouse is pregnant, you're like, I'm going to do the things you do to make you feel better about the things you're doing. I just want to, it's like empathy actions. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've been eating for 2 since Caitlin first got pregnant with our first child. I need to stop that.
I ate for 2 also. Yeah. I'm like, you eating? I'm eating. Let's do it. Let's go. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a resolution per se to, the cliche, like lose weight, workout stuff, but I definitely want to try to be a little healthier for sure.
Yeah, that was on our docket for things. I have no resolutions, but I do have the kind of proclamation that I made a month ago or so, which was overwhelmed with open source. I'm overwhelmed with standards. I want to create quality, and quality does not mean quantity. My 2026 is a shift to quality over quantity. I will be reducing a lot of my engagements, a lot of the things that I do, because I think it's better if I create less, but more than more that is less. And so, hey, oh shit, you know what that comes back to is?
That's quotable.
Yeah, AI. It's AI. AI is quantity over quality, and I'm here for quality over quantity. So anyway, that's my 2026.
You know what AI can't do though? Show up to conferences and podcasts in person. So we'll still be doing that this year.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we're planning a couple of things like Atlanta, I think. Yeah,
I haven't worked out all of them and the details, but ideal ones are React Miami, Render ATL, Cascadia, perhaps.
Which is, dude, you should put it in CFP right now. Do it today.
Oh, is it open?
We'll talk about it after the show. Yeah, it's open, and they're hungry. Dude, I think you should get in on that.
I can just put in, is AI just stealing with extra stuff?
And say, like, Adam referenced me. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I heard good things about that conference, so I would like to do something there. And I'm trying to think of, I thought there was the one that I've been doing, which we will probably continue, is All Things Open in Raleigh.
Yeah, I kind of want to go this year and bring the fam. It sounds family friendly. That sounds really, really cool. I'm super into that.
So, I mean, those 3, possibly. And then I don't think I'd try to do more than 3 necessarily.
I'm going to be at CSS Day. That's like the one I signed up for. I'm talking less in 2026. I will be talking at CSS Day. And I'm in conversations right now with multiple speakers and the person throwing it to make sure we don't stomp on each other's talks. So
that's smart.
Anyway, be ready for Amsterdam CSS Day, which is the peak of CSS at all. So anyway, if you care about that, go there. Be there.
Yeah. It's an excuse to go to Amsterdam. Check it out.
Which is a lovely city. It's not the city you think it is. In fact, weed is no longer allowed to be smoked openly in the streets. That's how different Amsterdam is. Yeah.
You mean it's not New York City?
Or Seattle. Oh shit, you walk around Seattle or Portland, you're like, the smell of skunk in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with like do whatever you want, but yeah, it's weird to me to just be openly doing that. It feels weird. Like you're supposed to be hiding that.
Amsterdam was like, look, it was cute for a while, but now it's ruining tourism. So tourists don't want to smell your weed when they're walking through the canals. So we've banned it. And you're like, oh, yeah, that was your shtick. I guess your stick is gone. Okay.
Speaking of being gone, we are now also gone. This is the end. We've talked a lot. If you liked it, please subscribe. Leave us ratings and reviews. We appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time.
You've been watching Whiskey Web and Whatnot, recorded in front of a live studio audience.
What the fuck are you talking about, Chuck?
Enjoyed the show? Subscribe.
You know people don't pay attention to these, right?
Head to whiskey.fun for merch and to join our Discord server.
I'm serious. It's like 2% of people who actually click these links.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review and tell your friends about the show.
All right, dude, I'm out of here.
Still got it.